Welcome. It's 5:11, and I'd like to call to order the general meeting of the Knox County Commission. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lundy,
Here.
Commissioner Durrett. Here. Commissioner Oster. Here. Commissioner Ward.
Here.
Commissioner Schoonmaker.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner
Write it
Lee.
out.
Here.
Commissioner Beeler.
Here.
Commissioner Daly.
Here.
Commissioner Jay.
Here.
Commissioner Frazier.
Present.
All 11 members are present.
Thank you. Also up here on the podium to my right is Assistant Law Director Mike Moyers, and to my left it is Haley Wilson and Kim Ellis with the Clerk's Office. Are there any elected officials or former elected officials out in the office? If you wave at me, I'd be happy to recognize you.
Randy Smith.
Commissioner Smith, former chair. Judge Cerny, thank you for being here, sir. Always good to have you. Are there any others? Anyone spotted? All right, seeing none, we'll move forward with our devotional. The floor is Commissioner Lundy's.
Thank you so much. Lately, I have been seeing a lot of people on hospice care. I don't know if anybody know, but my doctorate degree is in physical therapy. So I've been a physical therapist for almost 19 years. And in probably the past 7 years, I've been into the hospice realm. But lately, they have been calling therapy in. So I probably have at least 4 patients. And it's been very, I can say weary, but very eye-opening when you talk to people who they know their days are numbered. A lot of them are bed-bound and just kind of processing life. And I have had opportunities to have deep discussions with them of, how will they live their life differently? What do they want to do, especially as their end is coming? And it made me reflect on writing something called The Inner Battle. It's easy to become consumed by the external conflicts that we see in our world. The wars, the strife, the division, all these demand our attention. Let us not forget the most profound and crucial battle we face is within the very depths of our souls. The inner struggle is one that calls us to align with the divine power of God. In doing so, we align our hearts with its eternal truth of our Creator, which is rooted in love, mercy, and justice. As we continue to walk this path called life, we must remember not to be consumed by fear, anger, and anxiety. The scripture reminds us in Philippians 4, verses 6-7, to bring all our anxieties to God in prayer. There lies our peace, a peace that transcends all understanding and guards our hearts and mind. Our actions, the visible manifestations of this inner war, must reflect the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These are the hallmarks of a victorious life, a life that stands as a testament of the transformative power of God's love. Let us focus on this inner battle. Let us utilize the divine weapons of prayer, faith, and love. By doing so, we not only find victory within ourselves, but also become beacons of hope and light in a world that so desperately needs of both. If we can bow our heads for prayer. God, I thank you for moments like this. I thank you for this time and our opportunity to sit in this space. Please touch every heart and mind that is listening to my voice. Whatever they're dealing with, please infiltrate their heart and mind with your love and your peace and your joy. Let us become a people that's on one accord, making sure we learn how to love our neighbor like we love ourselves. Whatever battles that we are facing, we know that your love will transform it. Continue to lead us and guide us and forgive us when we fall short. We are so grateful for your wisdom, your knowledge, and your understanding, and most of all, your love. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner Lundy. And now for our pledge, and Commissioner Frazier.
Please rise if you are able with a proper salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm looking at amendments to our agenda. We have added items 30 and 48. We have deferred until June, item 75. We have deferred until August, item 66 and 76. We also have a removal, this is per planning, of items 61, 63, 65, and 74. And for your information, those are all sector plan amendments. Also, on non-consent, we have item 43 and item 46 through 60. All right. Are there any questions or comments about this? Commissioner Schoonmaker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Due to the interest from the public with some phone calls and emails, could we, on items number 56 and 57, could we have the clerk's office conduct a roll call vote on those two items, please?
Do commissioners have any objections with roll call on item 56 or 57? Seeing none. Okay, Lee, if you'll note those for roll call. Are there any other comments or questions about the agenda? Commissioner Jay?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Items 50, if I'm correct, items 50, 51, 52, 53, at least, and maybe 54, need to also be roll call votes.
Thank you, sir. You're absolutely right about that. Items 50, 51, 52, 53.
I don't think the org chart 54 doesn't, I don't think that needs to be, but I
I
think
would
the other-
agree.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. That was an oversight on my part. All right. Are there any other questions or comments about the proposed agenda? We have a motion on the floor to accept the agenda by Daley, second by Jay. Is there any other comments, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? I'm looking for a motion to accept the government and educational consent agendas.
So moved.
Motion by Durrett, second by Frazier. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please. We don't need to because we approved it. Well, yeah. Commissioners, help me a moment if you would. I'm looking at item 30. And it had a to be added, and I also have it in another area. However, it's noted that it was approved during work session. Is that your recollection? And it is. Thank you. All right. Just wanted to be sure that wasn't. Well, I'm good. All right. Yes.
Item number 42 is Resolution 101, honoring the recipients of the Regional Star of Life Award.
Thank you. And that has already been approved.
Yeah, we need to have a motion, so either that or it's, are we gonna do something? It still needs a motion, otherwise you guys can say.
If any of these members are here, I wish they would come up and join me as I'm reading this.
Commissioner Hill? Me,
Who's talking to me?
me, Gina.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. Mr. Moyer said that we do need a motion and a second on this.
Oh, even though it was approved
Yeah,
last
because it'd be on
week.
consent if we didn't do that, so, yeah.
It is on consent, but that's all right. I'm looking for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Jay, second by Oster. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. If any of these members, please, are here tonight, I'd appreciate them joining me up here. Chris Lawson, Hagan Henderson, Matthew Osborne, Michael Fields, Brandy Ramberg, Brian Coher, Nathan Groff, Robert Simmons, or Chase Christian. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. If you just join me while I read this. This is a resolution honoring several recipients of the Regional Star of Life Award. This is by no means all-inclusive of the list, but this is over a specific incident that occurred. Whereas the Star of Life Award recognizes exceptional frontline care with a focus on agencies and providers who are the initial care responders from dispatch to hospital doors. And whereas Tennessee EMS Region 2 has selected 9 AMR, EMTs, and paramedics who responded to a multiple vehicle crash on Magnolia Avenue in January of 2023 as the recipients of this year's Star of Life Award for the region. And whereas this accident caused multiple injuries, including 2 children, as well as an adult fatality. Whereas 9 first responders received the Star of Life Award on May 2nd, 2024 in a ceremony that reunited the EMS caregivers with the people they treated. And whereas the commission wishes to recognize and commend these 9 AMR, EMTs, and paramedics for receiving the Regional Star of Life Award for their heroic efforts that resulted in the saving of lives. Now therefore let it be resolved by the Commission of Knox County as follows. The Knox County Commission hereby honors Christopher Lawson, Hagan Henderson, Matthew Osborne, Michael Fields, Brandy Ramberg, Brian Coart, Nathan Groff, Robert Simmons, and Timothy Christian upon their receipt of the Regional Star of Life Award and extends their sincere gratitude to these EMTs and paramedics for their devoted service in providing life-saving care to the patients. Be it further resolved that this resolution is to take effect from the date of its passage as provided by our Knox County Charter. Thank you. Thank if you would come and introduce yourselves, please, and you'd like to speak to the incident.
Yes, I'm April Kaywood. I'm the operations manager at AMR. And these employees deserve this, plus the KFD and the KPD that also responded. They saved 2 little kids' lives. And Children's Hospital recognized them and nominated them and got them this award. And we are very appreciative for everyone that was involved in it.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Edwards. I'm a section chief with EMS administration here in Knox County. And I'd just like to thank the commission and all those first responders and all involved, because truly every day they go out, they're making a difference in someone's lives. And I thank you for your support here today. Thank you.
And I'm Jerry Harnish. I'm currently serving both as Director of Operations for AMR and also as your Fire Chief for Rural Metro Fire. I can't add anything other than what I've said to this body before, which is there are amazing people that want to serve this community. And I'm extremely proud of them. Pleased for them to get this recognition. As luck would have it, commission falls on their shift. So they are out serving the people even as we speak. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And commissioners, if you'll just indulge me a few moments more. These particular folks were called out to me for this one incident that were Star of Life winners, but it's also since then been brought to my attention that we had some KPD and also some KFD people in our community that also received this. So if you will indulge me, I'd also like to publicly just recognize their names too. With KFD, and if any of you happen to be here, please raise your hand or come up, please, absolutely. Gordon Johnson and Micaiah Bohan. From KFD, James Risden, Gary Ellis, Marcus Allen, Hugh Laxton, Jordan Adcock, Curtis Scott, Chris Stallings, Kevin Andrews, Robbie Kopus, Keith Branch, Al Ludwig, Nathan Patterson, Brian Buchanan, Deanna Job, Cody Yates, Robert Metters, A.J. Spoon, Cassie Garner, Buddy Gibson, and Bobby Palmer. Thank you. Thank you all. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Al Ludwig with KFD. Thank you all for honoring us here today. Like some of my cohorts, we're on duty, a lot of us today, so we weren't able to attend in force, but we thank you very much for this honor.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Item number 43 is Resolution 102, honoring 4 students from the Gibbs High School HOSA program who placed in the top 3 of the respective state competition and qualified for the international competition in Houston, Texas.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion on the floor by Beeler, second by Schoonmaker. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Beeler.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Commissioners, Dr. Reiswick. I am very proud to be reading this resolution and also very pleased that all 4 of these young ladies are here, along with their instructors gathered behind me. So if you will permit me, I'll read the resolution. Whereas Health Occupation Students of America, HOSA, is a student-led organization focusing on preparing students to become future healthcare professionals. And whereas with thousands of members in multiple counties, HOSA's goal is to create leaders in healthcare by allowing the students to lead service projects in their own communities, learn from each other, and compete at local, state, and international levels. And whereas
Gibbs High School has 4 students who placed in the top 3 of their respective host of state competitions and qualified for the international competition this summer in Houston, Texas. And whereas the 4 outstanding students are Chloe Hamilton, Aoife Fakoya, Peyton Hodges, and Brianna Auten. And whereas Chloe Hamilton is a senior who plans on attending Tusculum, where she will pursue a degree in nursing and a minor in social work and psychology with the goal of becoming a forensic nurse examiner. Chloe is graduating with CNA license, distinction, and 15 college credit hours. She proved her knowledge at host of state competition by placing first in the state in the certified nursing education competition. Aoife Fakoya is a junior who moved here from Nigeria last year. She took 4 honors classes and 3 advanced placement classes this year. Aoife plans on majoring in neuroscience before going on to medical school. Peyton Hodges is a junior who, in addition to being a competitive HOSA member, is also an active member of DECA, where she serves as the VP of Community Service. Next year, she plans on getting her physical therapy aid certification, and after high school hopes to earn her bachelor's in biology from the University of Tennessee before applying to medical schools. And Brianna Auten is a sophomore who stays busy between advanced placement classes and creating beautiful artwork. Brianna wants to pursue a career in healthcare because she loves guiding and supporting the community. And whereas these exceptional Gibbs High School HOSA students are sponsored by the Gibbs Health Science teachers Holly German and Mandy Gilbert, and whereas the hard work, dedication, and achievements of these students from the Gibbs High School HOSA program are a tremendous source of pride for the Gibbs community and all of Knox County, now therefore be it resolved by the Commission of Knox County as follows. The Knox County Commission hereby honors and commends Chloe Hamilton, Aoife Fakoya, Peyton Hodges, and Brianna Auten of the Gibbs High School HOSA program for placing at the top in the HOSA state competition and qualifying for the international competition. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Chloe Hamilton, Aoife Fakoya, Peyton Hodges, and Brianna Auten, and in doing so, wish them continued success at the international competition this summer. Be it further resolved that this resolution is to take effect from and after its passage as provided by the Charter of Knox County, Tennessee. Congratulations, ladies. I want to invite any of these ladies, maybe Ms. German, Ms. Gilbert, if you'd like to say a few words. Sure. Podium is yours.
I'm trying not to cry because I'm just so proud of them. They're amazing kids. They work really hard. They care about their school. They care about the patients they've taken care of, and we're just thrilled to death. So thank you so much for honoring them. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, we do appreciate you all honoring them. We are super proud. This is the most that Gibbs High School has ever had to move on to international, and we just hope to get better and better every year. And we are so proud of these girls. It's a good job. Good job, girls.
Commissioners, if we could get a picture, I know these ladies would love that.
You ladies, it's going to be hot in Houston this summer. Be prepared. I mean, hot. Next item, please.
Item number 44 is joint proclamation presentation recognizing the 50th anniversary of National EMS Week.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of Mayor Glenn Jacobs and the entire Knox County Commission, it is an honor to both recognize and congratulate all area emergency medical responders on the 50th anniversary of National EMS Week. We had the privilege of spending some time with many of our first responders and hear firsthand their passion and their heart for serving others in this very vital role. Let's take a listen. Please direct your attention to the screens for a short video.
'50th anniversary of EMS Week. It's a time where we honor the entire EMS profession for the critical role they play in our lives. Through a broad range of jobs and skills, the individuals that serve Knox County are committed to improving emergency medical services every day. But most of all, they are devoted to something bigger than themselves. They define what it means to be servant leaders in our community. When asked to help us on what may be our worst days, they still answer the call to make those days just a little bit better with unwavering dedication, courage, and grace. So to our EMS workers across Knox County, we say thank you for everything you do in our communities.
It is a calling to serve in this job. Not everybody's cut out for it. Not everybody can do it, but it is clearly a calling. What it means for me to be involved in emergency work is to make a difference in somebody's life. Every day, every call is different, every emergency is different, but the ability to change the trajectory of someone's outcome is immense.
To be able to serve in an EMS capacity in the county that I was born and raised in, it means a lot to me. That means that my neighbors are going to get quality medical care from people that they know and they care about. I've done this for several years now, and I wake up every morning excited to go to work.
They are the first people on scene. They initially evaluate the patient. They provide that initial intervention that can sometimes be the difference of them making it to the hospital or not making it to the hospital. So their knowledge and expertise is very important.
So I've been in EMS for 25 years. I have traveled across the country working for American Medical Response. And the reason that I keep staying into EMS is I come from a family of first responders. My dad was a fireman, my brother's a fireman, uncles, brother-in-law. So to me, there's a lot of pride in serving your communities, and it's a family tradition.
There are hands and feet out in the community, and we couldn't do our job without them. In many respects, they put themselves even more in harm's way than our dedicated staff, because they're out on the roads, out in communities, going into people's homes, and again, we're fortunate to have them as a member of our healthcare team.
And that's what having that brotherhood type thing in the fire service is all about, is we've got each other's back. I know that the guy beside me and behind me, the people I respond with, are some of the best in the business. And that's what makes it easier, because I know that I've got help on either side of me whenever I go to step up to any call I go to.
It's rewarding. I mean, not every day can you go to work and take care of Superman, who's dressed up in his costume, and he comes in and he can't, he doesn't feel good, doesn't want to play, and by the time he leaves, he's flying out the door with his cape on, and that's what's rewarding.
I just love helping people, and it's kind of what God led me to do. It's what I have talents and abilities in, and just doing what I was meant to do. I'm just proud to work with such a great bunch of people. Like you said, the glue that kind of sticks us all together is the desire to help people, and that creates a really great bunch of people.
And for me, it's just one of those things. I've always been a servant in life. I went through cancer. I had people that helped me, and I wanted to do the same for the community. I felt like this was a calling for me. It's just not one of those things I just woke up and wanted to do. I felt like I was called to do this. But most importantly, most of it is just we all come together for a common goal. It don't matter what uniform we wear, what we do, what department we go to. Our common goal is serving others and helping somebody's day be better than what it was when we showed up.
If you are a member of our Knox County EMS community, would you please stand and come forward? We have representatives here from fire, rescue, our hospitals, our ambulance service provider, Lifestar, and our county medical director. Don't hang in the back. Come on, come on. We are grateful for the calling upon your lives to serve and care for the citizens of Knox County. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. In appreciation, we offer the following joint proclamation. A proclamation on behalf of the people of Knox County by His Honor, the Mayor Glenn Jacobs, to publicly recognize the 50th anniversary of the Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas, half a century ago, a presidential proclamation called on the nation to support efforts to improve emergency medical care across the country. It also established the first National Emergency Medical Services Week, a tradition we proudly continue today. And whereas this year is the 50th anniversary and the theme, Honoring Our Past, Forging Our Future, is a reminder to gratefully acknowledge the foundational work of early EMS industry professionals and appreciate those who are building the EMS system of the future. And whereas Emergency Medical Services, EMS, is a vital public service that improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas our vital EMS system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians and dispatchers, paramedics, firefighters, law enforcement, educators, administrators, nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas EMS professionals are highly trained and ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24/7. And whereas in the 50 years since EMS Week was established, the profession has made enormous strides in pre-hospital care, data collection, emergency management, and community-based health care. And whereas it is an honor to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers by designating the Emergency Medical Services Week. And now, therefore, I, Glenn Jacobs, Knox County Mayor, along with the Knox County Commission, do hereby proclaim May 19th through the 25th, 2024 as Emergency Medical Services Week.
Nothing like being put on the spot here. No, we really appreciate Commission and Mayor Jacobs for recognizing individuals every day that are out there putting their lives on the line, to include firefighters, EMS professionals, rescue personnel, law enforcement folks. 30 years in the business, and the atmosphere and the environment certainly isn't getting any easier for these folks to do their job. So we really appreciate recognition when it's offered. We don't get it very often, but that's okay. None of these folks did this for the money or for the praise, I can assure you. But we certainly appreciate, like I said, the recognition and your time and effort and just showing a level of appreciation for the job that these folks do every day. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And that video was wonderful. That was quite moving. Kudos to everyone that had any part of pulling all of that together. Thank you so much. Next agenda item, please.
Next item is public forum for agenda items only.
Thank you. And we have two speakers that have signed up to speak. The first one is Sherry Garrett. Ms. Garrett, if you give your name and county of residence, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Thank you. My name is Sherry Garrett, and I live in Knox County. First of all, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your service on the commission. I believe each and every one of you is doing an excellent job representing your districts. But when has this commission decided it must determine how each district is represented? When has this commission decided they should have a say in how another commissioner votes? As has always been, voters determine the representation of each and every district. If a voter is unhappy with the representation, they have an option. They can either run against them in the next election or vote them out. This resolution and ordinance to change the Bureau Board before you appears to be one of those situations where some commissioners are unhappy with the way another district, not their own, is represented. After listening to the Rules Committee in last week's work session, this change is to address the religious conviction of some of the commissioners in granting beer licenses while they do vote on restrictions and fines for illegal actions by some of those who would hold those licenses. Yet I have not seen any harm done to any constituent. Has anyone been denied a permit? Has anyone been punished unjustly for their infractions? I heard last week that the Beer Board Chair received 6 phone calls from constituents who were unhappy that their commissioner would vote on their fine, yet not vote to grant their license. Were those 6 unhappy they were levied fines and feel they were punished unjustly? While the intent for this change may be honorable in giving those who do not wish to serve on the Beer Board an out, this change removes representation from the public, even with an at-large commissioner on the committee. It makes it appear that religious freedoms of some commissioners are being targeted. There are many reasons why the Beer Board could be chosen, changed to a committee, but commissioners' religious convictions should not be one of those reasons. If a constituent is upset that their commissioner, or with their commissioner and how they're represented, they should be encouraged to reach out to them. In the event their commissioner is unresponsive or unavailable, they have 2 other commissioners to reach out to. I'm asking that each and every one of you vote no to this resolution and ordinance change. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Greg Mills. Mr. Mills, if you give your name and county of residence, you have 3 minutes to speak.
Okay, thank you. Greg Mills, Knox County. I wanted to speak about this Resolution 211 tonight, this $50,000 survey by Knox County Schools. They say they want to survey key stakeholders, but I don't see where anyone in the county, not you, the school system, or anybody actually defined who these key stakeholders are. And indeed, the vendor on page 4 and 11 of the proposal uses 2 different definitions. So you're spending $50,000 for a survey, you don't even know who's answering. So that's, to me, a big waste of money. And even on page 8, they go further. They say they're using a United Nations methodology for their survey. So the community could include people from Timbuktu, the way you defined it, who knows? But, or people from, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and New York, not Knox County. So I would hope you would defer this until the definition of key stakeholders can get cleaned up. Maybe you've already, I don't know, maybe, or else it's, kind of a useless, just waste of money. You don't know who's answering it. And the other thing I would hope, this gives me the opportunity to say, I hope you're getting wise to these kind of games of what's going on in, other parts of the world. Because what we saw when you were doing your normal business in the fall of 2019 is groups are planning the pandemic, preparedness. And what do we get out of that? People being told to shove COVID patients into nursing homes. So get ahead of the nonsense this time and pass right now they're working on programmable digital currencies, which will only work in some places and not everywhere. So it's basically, communism or corporate fascism on the demand curve instead of the supply curve like the Soviet Union did. So also pass a simple, ordinance that doesn't require or it would ban the exclusive use of programmable digital currencies. And I think it'll stop the next round of nonsense that appears to be heading our way. So 2 things I'd ask for you tonight is 1, reject this resolution until the definition of key stakeholders can be cleaned up, and also require that definition to include taxpayers. I'll paraphrase, caught the end of your previous meeting, so I'll paraphrase my words from what I heard, not the speakers, but basically your taxpayers sounds like you're starting to run out of money, so they need to have a voice in this survey as well. And the other thing, like I said, pass an ordinance that would not allow exclusively programmable digital currency to be used in Knox County by your businesses. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next item, please.
Next item is the approval of minutes from the previous meeting.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Daley, second by Jay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 45 is the consideration of the acceptance of new county roads. A, Hatmaker Lane. B, Utopia Lane. These are located in Sonesta Subdivision, Phase 1, District 6. C, Yellow Aster Road. D, Valentine Meadow Road. E, Sugarcane Lane. F, Old Andes Road. These are all located in the Grange, Unit 1, District 6. G, Brook Willow Boulevard. H, Bridge Valley Lane, located in the Glen at Hardin Valley, Phase 1, District 6. I, Campbell Park Lane, located in Campbell Park Subdivision, District 6. J, Oasis Lane, located in Harbor Cove at Timberlake, Unit 6-B, Unit 7. K, Broken Creek Lane, located in Twin Creek Subdivision, Unit 3, District 9. L, Gecko Drive, located in Braxton Creek, District 6. M, Waterstone Boulevard, located in Waterstone at Hardin Valley, Unit 1, District 3.
Thank. Have a motion to approve by Jay. Is there a second? Second by Lee. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 46, line item transfers, total amount of $475,155.55.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Jay, second by Schoonmaker to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 47, budget amendments, total credit amount of $576,728.50.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Jay, second by Schoonmaker to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is notary applications. There were 173 received.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Durrett, second by Beeler to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 48, Resolution 114, confirming the Knox County Mayor's nominations of Louis A. Browning III for reappointment and Kara Daly and Matt Anderson for appointment to the Knox County Planning Commission. Terms expire June 30th, 2028.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve? Motion by Durrett, second by
Second.
Oster. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 49 is Resolution 406, approving an agreement with CDM Smith, Inc. in the amount of $224,000 for the provision of engineering services to assist the county in producing an East Knox County mobility study, which is intended to support the planned growth area expansion as approved by the Knox County Commission by recommending appropriate transportation improvements to support planned growth.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Motion by Beeler, second by Lee to approve. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 50 is Resolution 801, establishing a general county budget and making appropriations from the several funds for departments, institutions, offices, and agencies of Knox County, Tennessee for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2025.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Schoonmaker, second by Jay to approve. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Schoonmaker? No? Seeing no lights, all those in favor? Oh, I apologize. Roll call is required.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward?
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
Aye.
Commissioner Jay?
Aye.
Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Vote was unanimous. Motion passes.
Item number 51 is Resolution 802, establishing the Knox County tax rates for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2024, and ending June 30, 2025.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Schoonmaker, second by Jay to approve. Is there any discussion? Seeing none? I don't believe this is a roll call vote, is it?
I have listed 50, 51, 52, and 53.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward?
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
Aye.
Commissioner Jay?
Aye.
Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Vote is unanimous. Next item. Unanimously passes. Next item.
Item number 52 is Resolution 803, adopting the 5-year capital improvement plan for fiscal years 2025 through 2029 and appropriating funds for the first year of the plan in accordance with said plan.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve by Schoonmaker, second by Jay. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward? Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
Aye.
Commissioner Jay?
Aye.
Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Next item, please.
Item number 53 is Resolution 804, appropriating the amount of $8,294,000 to nonprofit organizations of Knox County, Tennessee for the year beginning July 1, 2024 and ending June 30, 2025.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Schoonmaker, second by Jay to approve. Is there any discussion? Seeing no lights, roll call, please.
Commissioner Ward?
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
Aye.
Commissioner Jay?
Aye.
Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Thank you. Passes unanimously. Next item.
Item number 54 is Resolution 805, approving the organizational chart of the executive branch of the Knox County government.
Thank you. A motion?
Second.
Motion by Beeler, second by Oster. Is there any discussion? Seeing no lights, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 55 is Resolution 903, approving a contract in the amount of $150,000 for fiscal year 2025, July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025, for the provision of drug and alcohol testing services for the Knox County Criminal Court Clerk Services, including General Sessions, Criminal Divisions, Division 1 through Division 5, and Criminal Courts, Division 1 through Division 3, Knox County Specialized Courts, including Knox County Mental Health Court, Recovery Court, and Veteran Treatment Courts, and the Knox County Probation Service.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Schoonmaker, second by Lee. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 56 is Resolution 905, amending various sections of the commission rules related to the elimination of the agenda work session and moving the zoning agenda meetings to the third Monday of the month, effective June 1, 2024.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion on the floor by, was that Frazier? Durrett, thank you. Second by Do I have a second by Oster? Thank you. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Lee, is your light on?
Oh.
No? Commissioner Beeler?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess I'll address this to Commissioner Durrett. Was just thinking after the work session, if the work session is going to be eliminated and there would be in its place an agenda review meeting at 3 p.m., would Beer Board need to possibly be tweaked a little bit to keep there from being that, and zoning, I believe, is at 5 on that same, would it be possible maybe to move Beer Board back to the 4th Monday? Just so it wouldn't, that agenda review meeting wouldn't be restricted to just an hour or 45 minutes or whatever?
Thank you, Commissioner Beeler. We brought this up in Rules Committee, and if my memory serves correctly, I believe it's because there is our retirement and pension board meeting that takes place. Is it the 4th Monday?
It is.
Before our commission meeting every month. And so that was kind of the issue with that.
Right. Yeah, I guess I asked because I think retirement and pension board only affects about 3 or 4 commissioners and rarely ever takes more than an hour. Just a thought.
That's definitely something to consider.
Sure.
Commissioner.
Maybe we try it this way for these 3 months.
Right, and see what happens.
Okay.
Sure. All right, Commissioner Daly?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be voting no on this because I don't think that we should be taking away any public type involvement, which this will do. I also think that it's going to cut into ads when there's an ad to be brought to the commission agenda. And if some commissioners are not there at the agenda review, they will ask the same questions over again, more than likely. So, and as a person that likes to see my constituents represented and everything, I don't think we need to be taking away chances that the public can come and speak. The associates in Knox County can come and speak and we get answers from them. As a country, it seems like we're going away, trying to take away things from our citizens instead of giving our opportunities or keeping our opportunities. It's more of a, what can we do to limit the input of our citizens? And I'm not in favor of this. If it passes, I'll be there for the meetings, but that doesn't mean that I'm in favor. I will be there, but I'm just not in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Frazier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to clarify the structure of the review agenda. I think what you're thinking is that the chair would also lead the review, and we would really just kind of go through the agenda similar to work session, but only the items that specific commissioners would want to address. And if those commissioners wanted to address something on the agenda, it would be their responsibility to ask potential staff that it would affect or impact or have questions for to be present, correct? Sure. Yes, Commissioner Frazier. The way I see the Agenda Review Committee operating is the chair would be the one, quote, calling the meeting to order, if you will. And then, you could go about it separate ways. I would leave that to the discretion of the chair. A suggestion I was thinking would be that the chair could survey the commissioners who are in attendance of the items they wanted to discuss,
and then just go through in numerical order, because some commissioners might have a duplicate item that they would like to discuss. And so that way you're not going, say Commissioner Frazier, you wanted to do 1, 4, and 5, and Commissioner Jay wanted to do 2 and 5. That way you're not just keep hitting on the same item multiple occasions. So it could function that way. And was there any, have I answered?
Yes,
I
you
can't remember
have.
if there was another part to your
No,
question.
That was it. My
Okay.
second part of the question is really for Mr. Moyers. I remember as a citizen that I would sometimes come before commission at work session, and it would give them a week to kind of think about my comments or my ask as a citizen. And so because I'm hearing that this structure would not include public forum, I was going to ask Director Moyers, because we're considering changing it to optional, and because no votes or decisions or actions are taken, how does that impact public forum?
Well, there is actually a statute that requires public forum on all public meetings, but it makes exception for meetings that have no actionable items. And as this informational meeting would not have any actionable items because you're just discussing, you're not voting on anything, it would not require public forum. If there is a concern about fewer opportunities for public forum, you can add a public forum section to the zoning session. I mean, right now we have a public forum for zonings, I think, but I mean, you could certainly add, actually the state law would require you to have a public forum meeting at your zoning agenda so people could speak then. If you wanted to open it up to any topic, people could come during zonings and speak whatever topic they wished. And in a week, you would have your regular agenda meeting. So if somebody wanted to speak to something that was on the regular agenda, they could come to the zoning meeting. You could put it at the beginning of the agenda like we do here, so they wouldn't even have to stay that long. They could come in, have their say, and then come back a week later and have their say again if they wish. So I mean, you are in complete control of your agenda. And while having a public forum at this 1 hour review might be problematic because all of your time might be taken up with public forum, nothing says you couldn't add that section to your zoning agenda and give people 2 opportunities to come in a month, just like they do now, to speak to this commission.
And could we not also add public forum to the agenda review if we see that?
I mean, you could, but I would just remind you that as we've pointed out, you've got an hour. And if you do public forum in the manner that we do now, with everybody getting 3 minutes, and you have a hot topic, your entire review session might be taken up with public forum. So you can, but you are not required to for something like this agenda review. I think you are required to for the zoning session. What you can determine for zoning is whether you want to limit that to items on the agenda or just whatever, or have 2 different public forum sessions like we do here and let people speak to items on the agenda and then to just whatever they wish. So,
Thank you.
Commissioner Ward.
Thank you, Chair. A couple comments. Mr. Moyers beat me to that punch, but I'll start with the public forum. I think public forum should be at the end. There should be an additional one at the end of zonings because at 5 o'clock zoning meeting starts and the people that are there for zoning should be heard because that's their time. After that, we should have a public forum on the agenda. Anybody wants to talk about anything similar to what we do now is we have agenda items you can talk to in the beginning. If it's not on the agenda, you can talk to at the end of our commission meeting. That was number 1 for me. I think I agree with Commissioner Buehler. Move beer board back to 4 o'clock on the fourth Sunday. We barely go over 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at most when we do our pension boards. It still gives us plenty of time. Beer board never goes more than 30 to 45 minutes at most. I think we did an hour once. So that would go, 3, 4, commission meeting, boom, done, you're out. I think the review session, I like it. I like the timing. I like the placement of it. I think it should be mandatory. I don't think it should be optional. I think there's too many lazy commissioners as it is, not trying to call anybody out individually, but I think they should show up and do the time and put it in. It's in the middle of the day. I think every head of every department should be there. And this way, if the random question comes up, we're not saying like, oh, where's this person at? Oh, they didn't come today because nobody asked them to come. And then I don't have the answer that I was looking for. Another thing is we got to really utilize technology. There's nothing stopping any commissioner from putting something on our public forum, getting comments on it, making anything aware and noticed. But I like this a lot. I think if we can make a couple of tweaks to it, it would be great. And we're not losing a lot. We're just kind of reshuffling the deck and making it more streamlined. But those are my opinions on it for right now.
Thank you. Commissioner Beeler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I like that. My brother, I do disagree with you on one thing. That it's not mandatory now. So, the work session it's not a voting meeting. You understand what I'm saying? It's somewhat voluntary for commissioners to attend the work session. We all do it, and my hope is we would continue to do it if you make it a completely non-voting meeting. So I think this accomplishes two really important things. Now, I agree with Commissioner Ward and Commissioner Daly as well, in the sense that I don't think it's anybody's intent to try to diminish the public's input on these things. I don't think anybody's trying to, muzzle the public and provide less opportunity. That's not the intent. There's two important things this does. It gives zoning its own night. And that's something that I really felt like ought to happen for a while. Move zoning to the opposite Monday of the commission meeting, because you guys know the problem with that now. And, well, I don't even have to say it, you know it. And the second thing it does is it essentially moves the work session, or the equivalency of the work session, from 5 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and it makes it a non-voting meeting. Is that good or bad? I think it's necessary if you're going to move zoning to 5 o'clock on the third Monday, which is where I think it should be. Can this be tweaked to maybe put beer board at a more optimal time? Can it be tweaked to allow the public to not feel like their voices are being silenced? I think it could. So I support the spirit of it. I think it's sufficient. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Schoonmaker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I agree to some extent with everything I've heard so far. I do agree with Commissioner Daly's statement that the perception that the public will have if we take this action, that we're limiting the public input to us. For several years, we've tried to discuss holding our meetings different days, different times, and suggestions have come up. We've talked about moving the work session to an earlier hour. We even talked about taking commission from the 5 o'clock time frame back to its original time frame of 2 o'clock p.m. to make it easier on the staff. So we can do those things. I guess my question is what's wrong with the work session? I think one of the big advantages is that if Commissioner Daly or Commissioner Jay is having a department head give us an overview of what's going on, I may pick up something that I hadn't even thought about or have additional questions, and I think we would lose some of that because you're trying to jam a whole agenda in less than an hour. The other thing is, does this need to happen, June 1st? I mean, what's the rush? And so I'm not in favor of this resolution as it's posted, just because I don't see a problem with the work session. If you want to change the time, that's fine. But we do get a lot of things accomplished with having some presentations and honorary resolutions. Those will now all have to be heard during the commission meeting. The other thing I think that you'll find is what's going to happen is for those commissioners that don't attend the agenda review meeting, is an item is going to come up on the agenda, and what's going to happen is, one colleague is going to say, well, and have a whole bunch of questions. And what we're going to end up doing is deferring that to the next month's agenda. So now we've increased the workload for Drew and her team. So I just don't see a win-win on this at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Daly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Law Director, since this is a agenda review only and not a voting meeting, everything will be heard on work session. There will be no non-consent items. Like tonight, all 75 items would have to be heard tonight.
No, that's not the way I perceive it. My understanding is things will get added to the agenda as they do now. The chair herself and at suggestion of other commissioners will take things off consent if they wish. And it'll just be those items that go forward. The only thing that work session does, as far as moving things from non-consent to consent, is when you vote to approve something at work session, then it'll go on to the consent agenda general. But if you look at the past, that almost never happens. I mean, if you look at all the things on this agenda, it's no recommendation, all the way down the line. So in terms of that, I think it would work exactly like it's working right now. The chair will look at those things that have to come off, the things that she's interested in. You use your forum to say, well, I'd like this off consent, or I'd like this off consent. And those items would be discussed at the work session. So as far as that goes, I mean, the way it's been operating is everything is kind of presumed to be on consent until it's taken off.
Thank you. Commissioner Durrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Commissioner Daly, to answer your question, and Law Director Moyers did that, was the chair will continue to pull things from consent as she does right now on the forum by the Friday, the day after the agenda is released. The timing remains the same. And then we can still pull whichever ones we would also like to discuss as we do. And at 3 o'clock on that following Monday, they can be discussed at the Agenda Review Committee. At that point even, you may have your questions answered, and then they could be put back on consent. If one slight little question was answered and that was all you had, then it could be put back on consent, and we don't even have to bring it up if that was the only thing that was brought up. But as far as the timing goes, everything will still happen the same as it does currently. We just don't have the formal meeting at 5 o'clock. Rather, it's at 3, so we can move the zoning one to its own night, as Commissioner Beeler stated. And we actually have added a public forum to zoning. It is currently for agenda items only at the beginning of the meeting. Happy to add open topics at the end of the zoning meeting if that's the will of the body. But again, that's just a rules thing. We can do that at any moment. The public can still attend the agenda review meeting. It's a publicly noticed meeting. They can still show up and listen to what we're talking about. And I know everyone else here has received emails and phone calls because we have spoken to those tonight. So that tells me that it's not limiting the public's voice by taking away that one public forum. Because we've even heard about issues with this resolution since work session last week, but we didn't hear it at work session last week. So I respond to emails, I read my emails, I answer my phone calls, I respond to texts. The public forum is not the only way to reach me. And I know it's not. I know you all are as attentive to your constituents as you should be. So, and to answer the June 1st question, That is so we can get these tweaks taken care of as we who have some experience under our belt can make these tweaks and get them in place before new commissioners join us on September 1. Thank you.
All right. Are there any other lights? Commissioner Frazier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just like to ask if we could add the public forum at the end of zoning. I would definitely like that.
I will amend my motion to include that.
To add public forum at the end of zoning.
It would be open topics. We have public forum agenda items only currently at the beginning of the zoning agenda meeting, and so we could put that at the end, similar to how we do now for our legislative meeting.
All right. Seeing other lights, my comment to that, and I'm asking, then if someone had a comment to make about an item on the agenda and they wanted to speak, I guess speak twice, because they can also always speak at the voting meeting, then they would need to come to the zoning meeting and then speak at the end of that. Is that correct? All right, Commissioner Durrett?
Correct. I was just going to say correct.
All right.
Commissioner Frazier, that was how you wanted it straight. Okay.
Okay.
I would like the public to have 2 opportunities to address us.
All right. My comment, and again, I'm certainly willing to try what we're looking at now, but I do hear a few comments talking about perhaps the wisdom of moving Beer Board back to 4 o'clock on general session, because I could see how only an hour of our workshop could really could be problematic, especially if people chose to speak or showed up or whatever. So let's see. Would you have an objection if we also
No, Commissioner Hill. Like I said, that was my original intent, but when it was brought up that was the standing retirement and pension board meeting, that we look to the third Monday instead, or to keep it at the third Monday.
All right, and I echo Commissioner Beeler that once in a great while it runs over, and in fact, we've just had to leave, but that's rare. That's rare that that's happened, so. All right, then, are there any other questions or comments?
Well, I'm sorry. I keep
Commissioner
thinking-
Frazier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Also, if we give this a try and say June, July, we're thinking, we tried it, let's go back to, or make tweaks to it. I think we can do that, correct? Sure. Okay.
Of course.
Right. I just want to make sure that that's clear to everyone, that
Commissioner Dredd.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Would you like to, are we in agreement to move Beer Board back to the 4th Monday? Is that what is happening? Are we trying it this way first, or what is the will of the body?
Commissioner Beeler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would rather not constrain our first try at this to an hour, because again, as a member of the retirement board, I agree with Madam Chair. It's very rare that we would need more than an hour in that meeting. In fact, if it was, the chair of that committee can always move it back to 2:30 if we feel like that the meeting might be long. So I would be in favor if the maker is amenable to move beer board back to the fourth Monday at 4 p.m.
Yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking for not thumbs, nods. Okay.
All right, then, we have an amended motion, and do you want to try to read that, or do you want me to? I'm seeing the look on your face. Okay.
Madam Chair, may I offer
Yes,
the amended
please.
motion?
Yes, thank you.
Motion to approve with the addition of public forum open topics at the end of zoning meetings and moving beer board to the fourth Monday at 4 o'clock.
Thank you. So we have an amended motion stated. Do I have a second? Second by Ward. Now, is there any discussion? Seeing no lights, all those in favor? Oh, you're right, I do need a roll call on that. All
Commissioner
right,
Schoonmaker? No. Commissioner Hill?
yes.
Commissioner Lee?
No.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
No.
Commissioner Jay?
Aye.
Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward?
Aye.
All right, that motion passes.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Joe.
Thank you. Could I just please ask our team in the commission office to issue us a new calendar between now and the end of 2024 as soon as possible so that we can double check, and I'll also pass that on to all the candidates as part of the orientation coming up this summer.
Thank you, excellent suggestion. All right, and that motion does pass 8-3, 8-3, thank you. All right, next item, please.
Item number 57 is Resolution 906, amending the commission rules in Rule 2, Section E, and Rule 5, Section K, and Section N to provide for the beer board to be composed of 7 commissioners, including at least 1 at-large commissioner, who are appointed annually following the reorganization of the commission, and to provide for all votes on beer permit applications and penalties to be by roll call, effective September 1, 2024.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Oster. Is there a second by Durrett? Do we have discussion on this item? Seeing no lights, I have one thing I'd like to say. I have heard repeatedly that the reason that this might be is because someone would pass or pass off their responsibility for their district because of a religious conviction. And that is no way the intent that this was presented at all. You don't even have to have a reason. I mean, I don't care why. If you don't want to, you don't want to. And to suggest that is the reason that everyone is doing this may or may not, in fact, be quite accurate. So I did want that clarification just to be brought forward, because I've even heard in public comment that it has to do with, that it's because of religious conviction, and that in and of itself is certainly not what I heard during Rules Committee as being the intent of this at all. So, Commissioner Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Then what is the point of changing it then? It's working the way it is. What is the point to change it?
Well, I can tell you, any commissioner is free to bring any matter to vote like this. and then the commission can decide. So that's why it's here in front of us. Do you have another comment?
My comment is still the same as it was last week. This is strictly to prohibit commissioners from having a vote.
All right, Commissioner Oster.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Frazier, I'm happy to yield my time until you're done. And I can finish up.
Thank you, Commissioner Oster. Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to read a response that I provided to any constituent who had a question about this, because it might answer some questions. But first, the Rules Committee cannot make legislative decisions singularly. The committee can only bring forth recommendations for consideration to the full commission body. As the chair, which I am, I think it's important that when a committee member brings forth suggestions that have been properly vetted through our law department and also offers suggestions that improves the processes of commission, it should be heard and considered by the full body. In this case of considering restructuring Beer Board, it was my opinion that the proposed resolution would offer those commissioners who have covenants another option rather than having to recuse themselves or abstain from a vote. Currently, they don't have another option. The resolution does not prevent any commissioner from serving on the Beer Board. A commissioner with a covenant could still serve on the Beer Board by appointment. In addition, should a scenario of a district commissioner wishing to not serve by appointment, the amended resolution as suggested at work session includes appointment of an at-large commissioner to ensure adequate representation. Another perspective is that should a commissioner with covenants want to serve by appointment, the inclusion of a roll call vote would offer protection of their covenant and assist the clerk when recording votes for full transparency. So I just wanted to let you all know that was my thought process during the discussion at the Rules Committee and bringing it forth to the body. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Oster?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate you saying that, what you did earlier, because this has nothing to do with religious. That was not the intent. And it also was brought to my attention, and I believe by everybody on this commission, it was brought to the attention that it was stated that this was personal. This is not personal. This is Knox County business. And as any resolution that a commissioner can bring forward, I have every right to do that as far as everybody else has a right to do that. It really is an opportunity for a commissioner to not have to serve on a board that they don't believe in, for whatever reason that is. And vetting this through the law director's office, and speaking to Mr. Moyers, the state law states that this beer board can consist of a committee as small as 3. I wanted to expand that, and we also have an at-large commissioner. And as it stands right now, our 2 at-large commissioners step in most of the time to either award or participate in the fines. So I'm not real sure what's different about that. This is a democratic process. I was elected to represent Knox County. This was what I felt like needed to be brought before this body, and this body will vote. And if you believe that we should do this as a committee, appointing commissioners, only Commissioner Ward, and I stated the change in the wording on number 58, then it'll pass. And if it doesn't, it won't. But this is just like any other resolution that any other commissioner can bring, and it didn't have anything to do with personal. And it's a shame that it was brought to that situation over an email.
Commissioner Beeler?
Thank you, Madam Chair. No, I just wanted to say that this particular option is the most desirable for someone in my particular position. Okay, and anyone in the future who might be. I have a conviction that is shared by some other colleagues, which I tremendously respect that. For me, it does go a step beyond that to covenant, and because I am in a pastoral position at a church that holds that covenant, I have no choice. Even regardless of what my convictions were, I could not vote a certain way. Now, and so for someone like me, someone in that unique position to serve on county commission in the future, this would be by far the most desirable option, to not have to serve on the beer board at all. I do not, however, mean to suggest that that means another colleague who shares those convictions should not vote, should not serve, should not be part of the beer board. That has nothing to do with my feelings on this. My feelings on this are related to my unique situation and any who might be in that situation in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments regarding this? Commissioner Frazier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just to Commissioner Beeler's point, that's where I was coming from. The option currently is not there. And I felt like giving every commissioner the opportunity to serve or not serve. As I stated, this does not prevent anyone from serving on beer boards should they want to put their name in and be considered appointed by their peers. So just thank you, Commissioner Beeler.
Thank you. And I would also add that I believe Commissioner Jay may have brought up last week that it also does not preclude anyone, whether they are appointed to the beer board or not, from joining their colleagues and sitting up here and speaking. It's not in any way censoring any board member. So, all right. I see no other lights. Therefore, we will go to a roll call vote.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Lee?
No.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
No.
Commissioner Jay? Aye. Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward?
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker?
No.
8-3. Motion passes 8-3. Next item, please.
Item number 58 is ordinance O-24-5-101, amending the Knox County Code, Chapter 4, Article 1, Beer, to provide for the sale of beer in Knox County to be regulated by the county commission or a board or committee composed of county commissioners and appointed by the county commission. This is amending ordinance number O-09-3-107, adopted April 27th, 2009, and this is on first reading.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Oster, second by Durrett. Is there any discussion? Seeing no lights, this will also be a roll call.
Commissioner Lee?
No.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
No.
Commissioner Jay?
Aye.
Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward?
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker?
No.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye. And this motion passes 8-3. Next item, please.
Item number 59, ordinance O-24-4-101, amending the Knox County Code, Chapter 2, Article 10, Division 3, General Provisions by adding a new section 2-839 regarding the Knox County Fleet Safety Program. Knox County Code, Chapter 2, Article 10, Division 3, establishing Section 2-839 previously reserved, and this is on second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Schoonmaker, second by Oster to approve. Any discussion? Seeing no lights, this is a roll call.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
Commissioner Daly?
Aye.
Commissioner Jay? Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Commissioner Schoonmaker,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Lee.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next item.
Item number 60 is ordinance O-24-4-102, amending the Knox County Code, Chapter 2, Article 1, Section 2-2, privilege and expense reimbursements for certain officials and employees in subsection 2-2A to reference the Knox County Fleet Safety Program and to clarify that the elected official to whom a county vehicle is assigned shall designate who may drive a county vehicle. This amends ordinance number O-90-9-123, adopted September 10th, 1990. Ordinance number O-02-8-104, adopted September 23rd, 2002. And ordinance number O-07-6-103, adopted July 23rd, 2007. This is on second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Schoonmaker, second by Oster. Is there any discussion? Seeing no lights, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Daley?
Aye.
Commissioner Jay? Commissioner Frazier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward? Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Beeler?
Aye.
This ordinance passes unanimously. Next item appears to be a public forum for open topics, and these are all zoning. We have nobody. We have no one signed up. Is there any other business before we adjourn?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to recognize my junior commissioner. He showed up tonight. He didn't have football practice, so he came to sit with us. Mr.
Welcome.
Monty.
Welcome. We're glad you're here, certainly. Any other? Seeing none, we are adjourned until 7 o'clock for zoning.